Hello students, myself Nitika Dharmoli, teacher at Mother Asandhya Public School. Students, I hope these videos are helping you a lot in enhancing your knowledge. Let's start today's video. This is part 4 of chapter 8 of class 6 science. The name of the chapter is Habitats of the Living Things. Students, as you all know that living beings or living things are present everywhere on earth. They are found everywhere on earth and they exhibit several types of characteristics. Because of these characteristics, they are able to adapt to different types of habitats. So today's topic is adaptation. So let's start. In previous video, we were discussing about adaptations of different types of animals as well as plants, how these organisms live happily in the habitats they are born in. This is because they have some special features which help them live in their habitat comfortably and successfully. And we have already discussed about aquatic adaptations, how the aquatic animals and plants they have adapted to their surroundings. Now today we are going to continue with adaptation for desert habitat. See, deserts they are very cold, hot and dry, sometimes cold also. So desert animals have to tolerate scorching heat and water loss during the daytime when the deserts are very hot. Some desert animals like desert rats, lizards, snakes stay in the deep burrows during the daytime so that they can avoid the intense heat outside during the daytime. They become active only at the time of night when it is cool. Such animals are called nocturnal animals. Once again, I'm repeating it. Nocturnal, this is the new term for you people. Some animals, to avoid the intense heat during the daytime, they stay in deep burrows and they become active only at the time of night when it is cool, and they are called, such animals are called nocturnal animals. Clear? Now see adaptations in camel. Camel is best adapted to live in deserts. Camels show a number of adaptations to survive in deserts. It can run and walk on sand easily. Camel is also called the ship of the desert. Look at the picture over here. See, this picture is showing a number of adaptations to survive in a desert by a camel. Camels have thick skin and no sweat glands to prevent loss of water. The skin is very thick so that water loss can be prevented. They excrete thick urine. Camels can store water by drinking a large quantity of water at a time. Then hump at their back stores fat. Fat is stored in hump. Look at the picture over here, which provides them energy and water also. Then large padded feet. Camel has large padded soles which help them in walking on loose sand without sinking. Look at this broad, flat and leathery pads at the bottom of their hooves. They spread out when the camel places its feet on the ground, thus preventing the camel from sinking into the sand. Now, long eyelashes and ear hair protect. The lashes are very long. Even the two rows of long eyelashes are there. Can you see it in the image? It protects against blowing sand and the sun also. Then long legs keep the body away from the hot sand. These are the long, strong legs. it also help carry heavy loads over long distances and keep its body further away from the hot sand also. So we have seen that camel is best adapted to live in deserts. It can run and walk on sand easily. Therefore, it is called the ship of the desert. Because of these all adaptations, it is called ship of the desert. Now see, xerophytes are plants growing in deserts. These are few new terms for you people. First of all, see xerophytes. These are the plants which are growing in deserts. The plants which are growing in deserts are adapted to grow in deserts because they need less water, and in desert there is a scarcity of water. Now see what are succulents. Succulents are the plants having juicy fleshy stem or leaves, mostly stems because leaves are reduced to spines like in cactus. So now you know xerophytes, these are the plants growing in deserts, and succulents, these are the desert plants which have long roots and fleshy stems to store water. Desert plants have usually long roots to absorb water from the deeper layers of the soils. They have fleshy stems to store water, as we have already seen in succulents. To reduce loss of water through transpiration, the leaves in the desert plants are modified into spines. As you can see the example of cactus. To carry out photosynthesis in the absence of leaves, because leaves are reduced to spines to avoid water loss, so the stems become green and they carry out photosynthesis as well. Also, it is covered with a waxy layer to retain water. This waxy layer is there to retain water. Now, after seeing the adaptation in desert plants and desert animals, let's see the adaptations for grassland habitat. Grassland habitat, herbivores and carnivores both are there. So first of all, we will see adaptation in herbivores. Herbivorous animals of grasslands have the adaptations like they have strong teeth for chewing and cutting hard grasses. Their ears are long to detect the movement of predators. They have long legs and hooves to run fast and escape predators. Also, they have eyes on the sides of their heads, which help them to look in all the directions from predators' presence. The grassland animals have ability to camouflage. Camouflage, they to hide themselves in the surrounding. Their body color usually merges with the dry bushes of the grasses. This helps to protect them from their enemies. Now see some adaptations in carnivorous animals. Carnivores prey upon herbivores. Adaptations like they have sharp claws to catch, to hold and tear the bodies of their prey. Their skin is light brown in color or patchy. This helps them to hide and not get spotted in dry grass while hunting. Their eyes are in the front, which help them in locating the prey easily. Also, they have long and strong canines, which help them in tearing the flesh of their prey. Now see adaptations in mountain habitat. Wide ranges of terrestrial plants and animals are found in mountain habitat. It is usually cold in mountains. Sometimes there is snowfall in mountains. Plants growing in mountains have many adaptive features. The shape of the plant is usually cone shaped, such as you must have seen pine trees. They are conical in shape. The trees found in this habitat have sharp needle-like leaves which help the snow to slide down easily so that it prevents the plant from rotting. Animals living in mountain habitat have a number of adaptations too. Animals such as yak, polar bear, snow leopard I've already shown you the images of these animals in previous videos. They have thick fur on their bodies to keep them warm and protect them from cold. Polar bear have this thick layer of fat under their skin that is called blubber. The mountain goat has strong hooves which help them to run on the rocky mountains easily. So this is all about the adaptations of plants and animals in different habitats. We have seen them. Now just have a quick wrap up of the chapter. In this chapter so far we came to know about habitats. This is a living place. The surroundings where an organism lives is called its habitat. There were two components of a habitat, biotic and abiotic components. Biotic components includes living components and abiotic components includes non-living components. Then habitats are of two types, aquatic and terrestrial habitat. Marine habitat and freshwater habitat are the parts of aquatic habitats. Forest habitat, grassland habitat, desert habitat, tundra habitat and mountain habitats. These are the parts of terrestrial habitats. Presence of some special features which help an organism to survive in its habitat is called adaptation. We have discussed already the different adaptations by different plants and animals. Animals and plants show aquatic and terrestrial adaptations according to their habitats. So this is all about this chapter. Now quickly see some questions. Question number 1, what is a habitat? The surrounding where organisms live is called a habitat. The organism depend for the food, water, air, shelter and other needs on their habitat. Then how are cactus adapted to survive in a desert? This answer also I have provided to you. Cactus lose very little water through transpiration because leaves are reduced to spines to avoid the water loss through transpiration. And the leaves in cactus plants are present in the shape of spines, and that is how it avoids the loss of water. Then there are a few fill in the blanks over here. I will read it out for you. Try to solve them. Halophytes grow near dash. Leaves are reduced to spine in dash. Bacteria and fungi are dash. Herbivores are also called dash consumers. Now, which is not a natural habitat out of these three, you have to tick mark. Now we have finished this chapter. In my next video, I'll come up with the next chapter. Revise the chapter thoroughly and try to solve these questions. Thank you for your attention.